Most people think their money problems started in adulthood. They're wrong. Your financial habits were formed long before your first paycheck. Before you knew what money was, you learned how to feel about it. And feelings drive behavior. Let me ask you something. Why do some people feel constant anxiety about money, even when they earn enough? Why do others feel guilty spending money on themselves? And why do some people lose money the moment they get it? The answer usually leads back to childhood. As a child, you didn't analyze money logically. You absorbed it emotionally. You heard phrases like, "We can't afford that." "Money doesn't grow on trees." "Rich people are selfish." "Be grateful for what you have." Your brain didn't question these ideas. It stored them as rules. So money became connected with stress, fear, limitations, and rules learned early run your life quietly. Watch how money was treated in your home. Did your parents argue about money? Did money create tension or silence? Did someone feel ashamed for wanting more? Children learn one thing very clearly. Money equals emotional risk. So later in life, success feels dangerous. Not because it is, but because your nervous system remembers instability. That's why many adults repeat the same cycles. They save, then suddenly spend everything. They grow, then quit. They earn more, then create new problems. Not because they are lazy, not because they are stupid, but because their subconscious is protecting familiar ground. The brain prefers certainty over success. Someone raised around calm money decisions sees money as neutral. Someone raised around fear and stress sees money as threat. Same world, different programming. That's why advice alone doesn't work. Mindset must change first. Here's the good news. Programming can be rewritten. Start by noticing what triggers spending, what triggers fear, what triggers guilt. Awareness is power. You don't need to fight money. You need to make peace with it. Your money problems didn't start with your bank account. They started with your beliefs. Change the story you learned as a child, and money will stop running your life. For many people, money is not just money. It's self-worth. If you grew up feeling unseen, unheard, or not enough, you may now try to prove your value through money. Buying things you don't need, trying to look successful, chasing status. Not because you want luxury, but because you want validation. Money becomes a way to say, "I matter," and that is a dangerous game. Children who grew up with lack often live in permanent survival mode. Even when money is available, they think, what if it disappears? What if something bad happens? So they either hold money too tightly or spend it immediately before it's taken away. Both come from fear. Scarcity is not about income. It's about memory. Some children grow up in unstable homes. Arguments, uncertainty, no control. Later in life, money becomes their sense of safety. But here's the problem. They don't want money to grow. They want money to feel safe. So they avoid risks, avoid investing, avoid change. Growth always feels unsafe to a nervous system trained in chaos. This is why financial advice often fails, because advice speaks to logic. But money problems live in emotion. You can read books, watch videos, learn strategies. But if your emotional relationship with money stays the same, results won't. You don't fix money with information. You fix money with awareness. Change begins with one question. Why do I react like this to money? Not judging, not blaming, just noticing. The moment you see the pattern, it loses power. You are no longer the child. You are the one in control now. Your childhood shaped your relationship with money, but it doesn't have to control it forever. Money is not your enemy. It's not your savior. It's a tool, and tools work best in calm hands.
Most people think money problems start in adulthood. They are wrong. Your financial habits were formed long before your first paycheck. Before you understood budgets or salaries, you learned how to feel about money. And feelings drive behavior more than logic. If you don't recognize this, you will keep repeating the same mistakes over and over. As a child, you absorb beliefs about money. Maybe you heard, money is hard to earn. Rich people are greedy. We can't afford that. Your brain didn't question these ideas. It accepted them as truth. A child hears, we can't buy that. As an adult, they avoid investment opportunities, even when they have money. Most financial advice fails because it ignores emotional programming. Observe how money was handled in your home. Did arguments happen around money? Did someone feel shame for earning or spending? Was money associated with stress, fear, or silence? Children learn one clear lesson. Money equals emotional risk. A kid grows up seeing a parent panic over bills. Later, they panic every time their bank balance changes. The nervous system remembers what the conscious mind forgot. That's why adults repeat the same financial cycles. Save then spend impulsively. Earn more than create new expenses planned, then quit halfway. Not because they're lazy or stupid, but because their subconscious protects familiar patterns. The brain prefers certainty over success. Someone wins a bonus, but suddenly buys an expensive gadget instead of investing. The subconscious says, I don't deserve stability. I know instability. Every unplanned purchase may be your brain defending childhood patterns. Consider this. Child A grows up with calm, responsible money decisions. Adult sees money as neutral and manageable. Child B grows up with fear, tension, or scarcity. Adult sees money as threat or stress. Two siblings earn the same salary. One saves, invests, and grows wealth. The other spends impulsively and struggles. It's not about intelligence or luck, it's programming. Here's the good news. Programming can be rewritten. Step 1. Awareness. Notice what triggers your spending or fear. Observe patterns without judgment. Step 2. Question beliefs. Ask, is this really mine, or is it my parents' story? Replace fear-based thoughts with neutral or growth-oriented ones. Example, I'm scared to invest. Investing is a tool to grow my future safely. Awareness plus questioning begins reprogramming your subconscious. Many people tie money to self-worth, buying things to prove status, feeling guilty about spending on themselves, overworking to earn validation. Someone works 70 hours a week, spends on luxury to show they made it, but never feels secure. Money becomes a tool to say, I matter, not to grow or invest. Until self-worth is separated from money, financial freedom feels impossible. Children raised in scarcity often live in permanent survival mode. Hoarding money, spending impulsively before it disappears, fear of investment or growth. A person gets a bonus immediately, spends it all, feels safe again. Abundance mindset comes from experience plus conscious rewiring. Your brain needs proof that money can be safe before it will stay. Unstable childhood money becomes safety mechanism. Avoiding risk. Avoiding growth, avoiding change. Growth feels unsafe because childhood taught the brain. Safety equals small, predictable, familiar. Someone avoids starting a business, even with resources, because fear of instability dominates subconscious. Until safety is redefined, money growth feels threatening. Most adults never question why they act this way around money. Every impulsive decision, every fear, every guilt moment has roots in childhood. Once you see it, you can start breaking cycles that lasted decades.
Your childhood shaped your money story, but it does not define your future. Patterns you learned about scarcity, fear, and guilt are deeply wired, but they can be rewritten. Most people fail because they only focus on numbers, not mindset. Ask yourself, when do I feel fear spending? When do I feel guilt earning more? When do I sabotage myself financially? Example, a bonus comes in you by an expensive gadget impulsively. That's your childhood fear of instability showing up. Awareness is the first step to breaking the cycle. Your subconscious believes old stories. You must create new ones. Money is a tool for growth. I can handle more than I think. Success is safe for me. Example, you fear investing. Start with $20 in learning, grow confidence, invest more. Each small success proves to your brain, money can be safe. Track every expense, know where money goes. Plan savings, intentionally remove fear. Invest in knowledge, compound growth. Limit impulsive spending, set rules. Example, 10% of windfalls fun, 20% growth/skills, 70% secure savings/investment. A system protects you while retraining your subconscious. Observe people who handle money well. How do they plan? How do they respond under pressure? How do they grow wealth consistently? Then, mirror their behaviors consciously. Example, instead of fearing financial growth, emulate habits, saving, investing, learning, disciplined spending. Money is learned behavior. It can be unlearned and relearned. You are the first in your family who can change the cycle. Not by magic, not by luck, but by awareness plus action plus habit change. Every pattern from childhood can be rewired. Most adults never question why they feel uncomfortable with money. Once you do, your financial life begins to change.